My name is... I'm about kicking ass, I'm about taking names, and we're about making games.
The Legendary Titans.
The Stone Age began more than 1 million years ago, stretching through an ocean of prehistory and into recorded time, lasting until a few millennia ago, though lasting even later in some corners of the world. The Stone Age refers to the period in which human beings primarily used tools and built structures from naturally occurring stone materials. Stone axes and arrowheads were used by early human species like Australopithecus. One could argue that stone tools are the dividing line between hominids and close relatives like modern chimpanzees. From our earliest ancestors hunting with sharpened rocks, through to ancient Britons dragging great cubic stones to construct Stonehenge, and to the people of Rapa Nui, sometimes called Easter Island, carving the stone moai using tools of slightly harder stone. The Stone Age encompasses the vast majority of humanity's time on this earth, from roaming hunter-gatherers to stationary farming communities and the first city-states at the very dawn of civilization.
My body is ready.
I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Regirock. In Hebrew legends, golems are clay or stone creatures brought to life via holy magic, often with an inscription on their face, or a message on a piece of paper fed into their mouths. Golems can be protectors, vengeful warriors, or even villains of the piece, depending on the one who animates and commands them. They are rarely depicted as having their own agency, instead being precursors to automatons in modern science fiction. Interestingly, humanoid figures crafted from clay and then brought to life are extremely common among mythologies the world over, very often being the origins of humans themselves. In Sumerian myth, ancient Greek, ancient Norse, Inca, and countless other stories from around the world, people or gods are sculpted from the natural earth and then life is breathed into them. This is even mirrored in modern thoughts about the earliest organic matter forming from the primordial ooze and giving rise to cells. The Bible put it succinctly: ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Regirock is a humanoid creature made up of a number of large pale and orange stones, held in a vague shape and animated by some unknown force. On the front of its face is not Hebrew text, but instead a symbol made up of a series of dots. Like the golem into which paper orders could be inserted, Regirock is somewhat hollow. Pokemon Shield tells us, "Cutting-edge technology was used to study the internals of this Pokemon's rock body, but nothing was found, not even a brain or a heart." As depicted in the 8th anime movie, Regirock and his Generation 3 fellows served as guardians of the Tree of Beginning. In this film, the three Regis are less like independent creatures, and more like a defense mechanism natural to the tree itself. Regirock makes weird noises, and seems to form itself from the rocks around the trees. Perhaps this Regirock is more like an avatar or familiar, or perhaps the tree hewed it from the rock as a golem is moulded from clay. The Pokédex describes the way a Regirock was originally made from rocks, and also how it subsequently incorporates more rocks into its body, suggesting either a kind of elemental rock spirit, or something deliberately constructed. Pokemon Ruby tells us, "Regirock was sealed away by people long ago. If this Pokemon's body is damaged in battle, it is said to seek out suitable rocks on its own to repair itself." Pokemon Sapphire tells us, "Regirock's body is composed entirely of rocks." Recently, a study made the startling discovery that the rocks were all unearthed from different locations. And Pokemon Emerald tells us, "A Pokemon that is made entirely of rocks and boulders. If parts of its body chip off in battle, Regirock repairs itself by adding new rocks." Historically, archaeologists have regularly been surprised by discovering that ancient monuments, be it Religious sites like Stonehenge or old castles were made from stones from many, many miles away, suggesting a level of organisation and skill that wasn't originally assumed of these ancient civilizations. Originally, to meet Regirock in Hoenn, players had to go to the desert ruins and complete a puzzle. In Ruby and Sapphire, they followed directions to a specific spot and used strength. In Emerald, they followed slightly different directions and then used Rock Smash. When this was complete, a chamber opened where a Regirock was indeed sealed away. As an embodiment of the rocks themselves, with an ability to repair, it sounds as though Regirock should be a defensive powerhouse. And this was true. Regirock is a solid defensive Pokemon, able to take a super effective move like an Earthquake from Tyranitar and keep on going. The Golem of Myth could be destroyed if the Hebrew written on its body were erased, but it takes a bit more to stop Regirock. Music for Luke Loves Pokemon is composed by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork was drawn by Katie Groves. Writing, producing, and editing is all by me, Luke Summerhays. Funding is provided by lovely listeners at patreon.com/podcastiopodcastius. For just $1 a month, you can help support the show and also listen to content early. Even if you don't want to help out, you should swing by that website for convenient links to the podcasts my pals and I create. I love it when listeners get in touch. After Regi Week, we'll be talking Latios and Latias. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about those or whatever Pokemon you love. And even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Regirock. And remember, I love you too.